called Voices. The first poem I'd like to read is called Civil Right. Centuries suffered freedoms, chained hopes that were hindered, hold back inequality, a past that must be remembered. From those being drugged here in chains, to swollen hands picking of cotton, those lives and human struggles must not be forgotten. Civil rights marches, lack freedom of speech, contested integrations, flawed, shameful disgraces that hovers over our entire nation. To completely move forward, we must see the error of our past, make just for our ancestors to rest comfortably at last. Educate properly all of our children, instill in innocent minds progression, not to retract in time, make fairness one of many life's long lessons. Acknowledge the journey, teach the ride scorned real have ridden, rectified heel burn scars on history, a huge bandage has hidden. Don't be the difference, make the difference for all of our sakes. The right of justice made civil, entire lives are at stake. Closing eyes to atrocities supports lives of all the evils. Years on unequal paths, still battling steps towards retrieval. Through tragedy, a faint message to be heard, if you choose to accept. Brand in our youth real compassion and need for human respect. Incite our young the importance of being equal and the extent of that pain, so they can be the challenge apotheosis for the future of lasting change. Deprivation and unjust in this society, it's never too late to make right. We must keep belief and bound civilly to never give up the fight. Thank you. Lastly, I'd like to recite the poem that was read at the Million Man March by Maya Angelou. The night has been long, the wound has been deep, the pit has been dark, and the walls have been steep. Under a dead blue sky on a distant beach, I was dragged by my braids just beyond your reach. Your hands were tied, your mouth was bound. You couldn't even call out my name. You were helpless, and so was I. But unfortunately, throughout history, you've worn a badge of shame. I say, the night has been long, the wound has been deep, the pit has been dark, and the walls have been steep. But today, voices of old spirit sound, speak to us in words profound. Across the years, across the centuries, across the oceans, across the seas, they say, draw near to one another, save your race. You have been paid for in a distant place. The old ones remind us that slavery's chains have paid for our freedom again and again. The night has been long, the pit has been deep, the night has been dark, and the walls have been steep. The hills we've lived through and live through still have sharpened our senses and toughened our will. The night has been long. This morning I looked through your anguish right down to your soul. I know that with each other we can make ourselves whole. I look through your posture and past your disguise and see your love for family in your big brown eyes. I say, clap hands and let's come together in this meeting ground. I say, Clap hands and let's deal with each other with love. I say, clap hands and let's get from the low road of indifference. Clap hands and let's come together and reveal our hearts. Let us come together and revive our spirits. Let us come together and cleanse our souls. Clap hands. Let's leave the preening and stop imposturing our own history. Clap hands. Call the spirits back from the ledge. Clap hands. Let's invite joy into our conversation, courtesy into our bedrooms, gentleness into our kitchens, care into our nursery. The ancestors remind us, despite the history of pain, we are a going on people who will rise again, and still we rise. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you, Monica. That was beautiful.